there, chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl. Welcome to GROWTV.
Welcome to GROWTV. Hosted by Carl, where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now, once again, welcome to GROWTV.
Well, hey there. It's good to see you. You caught me in the middle of my daily meditation. That's right, your boy Carl meditates. I take some quiet time each day and think about self-growth. Like, how can I become a better person? A funnier person, a more kind and cool person. And today, I think I finally got it. An idea so great, it will not only help me become a better person, but a better everything. An idea so spectacular, I might be able to live forever. Want to hear my idea?
Or,
Who said that? Show your face.
Carl, it's me.
Oh, hey Jada. Really want to hear my idea on how to change into a better person? And hopefully immortal. Ready?
We're waiting on you.
All right, 1 second. Yeah. Ta-da!
Okay.
So, what do you think?
What is it?
Look, robot. I'm a robot. Oh, I mean, I'm a robot.
Okay, Carl, how will becoming a robot change you into a better person?
Well, one, robots are made from technology. Technology is always progressing and getting better and better every day. I mean, 20 years ago, people didn't even know how to toast bread. But now we have self-driving cars and hoverboards for your dogs. And two, robots live forever. So I'll always be learning and changing. Kind of like the transfiguration.
The what?
The transfiguration! You know that story in the Bible where Jesus goes on the mountaintop with his disciples and the disciples see like Jesus change and stuff?
Okay, you're thinking of the transfiguration, Carl.
Tomato, tomato.
Well, I kind of get what you're saying, but there's definitely a lot more to that story.
How so?
Well, let's look at it. Jesus took 3 disciples, Peter, James, and John, up to this mountain. And when they got up there, something really wild happened.
I know! Jesus transfigurated!
It's transfigurated. It means to outwardly transform. Jesus' face began to glow and change.
And that's why I'm changing.
But it doesn't stop there.
It didn't?
Nope. Suddenly 2 more people appeared, Moses and Elijah.
Wait, hold on. Computing. How could that be? Aren't they from way before Jesus? Haven't they already died and gone to heaven?
They have, but they were there and they started talking to Jesus. It was then that they were all covered by a cloud and a voice came from it saying, "This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him."
Hold on. Information overload. Are you telling me right now that the voice that they heard was God's?
Yep, it sure was. And that's what makes this story so incredible. We not only get to see Jesus talking with famous people from the Bible like Elijah and Moses, but we also get to see God speak to his disciples. This was a huge moment for them.
Was it really? I mean, I know it is, but how do you know?
Well, think about it. Before this moment, the disciples had never experienced anything like this. I mean, hearing the voice of God, that's huge. This moment was crucial, not only for Jesus and his ministry, but to give the disciples even more reasons to believe.
What do you mean? How did it change their faith? I mean, how did it make them believe in Jesus more?
If you were in the disciples' shoes and you saw and heard what they did, how would you feel? Probably amazed, maybe a little scared, maybe a little uncertain. But one thing is for sure, you would never feel the same after seeing, hearing, and knowing that Jesus really is God's son, the savior of the world.
Well, when you put it like that, I guess you're right. It would definitely change the old circuit board. My head, I mean. It would change my brain and the way I think about things for quite a bit.
For sure, the same thing happened to the disciples.
So from then on, the disciples were good? Like they changed and never messed up and never doubted again?
Well, not really. Humans, even robots, will always mess up from time to time. Even those of us who have been following God for a long time, but that doesn't mean we're stuck that way. When we begin to follow Jesus, we are not meant to stay the same. We are to change and be like Jesus.
But how? I mean, I wasn't on the mountain with them.
Just like the disciples changed once they realized who Jesus was, we will also change when we realize who God is.
What? You're totally right. That makes me, wait, oh no.
What? What is it?
I'm feeling emotion.
Oh no.
Hey there, kiddos. Our big idea today is we can change when we know who God is. So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. We can change when we know who God is. Great job, kids. Now, make sure to tune in next week because I have a feeling Robot Carl is going to be sticking around for a bit. See you then.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of GROWTV.
Kids! We got a weird one today. Hey, welcome to KCTV, where we want to make great friends and learn about Jesus. And today's big idea is that we change when we know who God is. This month we're in this new series called Changing Gears, where just like robots transform things, we want to be transformed. We want to change because of knowing Jesus more. Knowing Jesus, following Jesus should change us a little bit. Maybe a lot of it. Yeah, a lot of it. The question is how? How should we change? And today we're learning that we change when we know who God is. Which brings another question. Who is God? That's a huge question, a very important question. If we're going to be followers of God, then we need to know who He is. At GROWTV, we learned this story that helps us learn a little bit about who God is. We're going to go over it again because it's crazy. Here we go. Matthew chapter 17. This is towards the end of Jesus' life. Listen to the story. 6 days later, Jesus took Peter and the 2 brothers, James and John, and led them up a high mountain to be alone. As the men watched, Jesus' appearance was transformed so that his face shone like the sun and his clothes became as white as light. I mean, what? His face is just like glowing in his clothes? Oh, what? And it gets weirder. Suddenly, Moses and Elijah appeared and began talking with Jesus. Now, if you remember from the Old Testament, Moses and Elijah were like, Moses was a powerful guy that came and led the people out of slavery. Elijah was a very powerful prophet that spoke to the people and did miracles. Problem is, they'd both been dead for a very long time, but then, bing, Jesus starts glowing and they appear and they're just talking. Peter exclaimed, Lord, it's wonderful for us to be here. If you want, I'll make 3 shelters as memorials, one for you, one for Moses, one for Elijah. So Peter figured out who these guys were. But even as he spoke, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, This is my dearly loved son who brings me great joy. Listen to him. The disciples were terrified and fell face down on the ground. Duh, of course they were terrified. Jesus starts glowing, 2 dead guys show up, and then a bright cloud shows up and starts talking. Yeah! They probably had to go change their tunics. Then Jesus came over and touched them. Get up, he said, don't be afraid. And when they looked up, Moses and Elijah were gone, and they saw only Jesus. So this story's crazy. Like, crazy. It's crazy, right? That's crazy. But it happened. This is a real story. And it can show us a little bit about who God is. So what can this story teach us about who God is? It can show us God is powerful. It shows us God is supernatural. It shows us that Jesus is God's son and that we're supposed to listen to him. It teaches us apparently God likes bright lights. What else? Kids, think about this for a second. What can this story teach us about who God is? So think about it. Who is God? Okay? And now I want you to change it. How does this story make you feel? How does it make you feel knowing that God is this powerful, that God is this supernatural, meaning he can do and he is things that we can't even imagine because we are natural. He is supernatural. How does that make you feel? Knowing that God is that powerful, he is supernatural, and also that he loves you so incredibly much, that he loves you more than you can ever understand. Those two things are both true, and how does that make you feel? Feel that for a second. Knowing these things about God changes us. Knowing that the God we follow is supernatural. The God that we follow is all powerful. The God that we follow is all loving and loves you, loves me more than we can ever know, changes us. So keep coming this whole month. Watch online, come here in person, and learn more about how does God change us? How does following God change us? We're not going to be like God where our faces start shining, which would be sweet, but that's probably not going to happen. But we can be more like God in loving people and bringing peace to the world. Some of those things, because knowing who God is changes us. See you next week. Trav, your face is glowing!